Lakers news fan Reperthov, you ever imagined a scenario where Anthony Edwards left the Timberwolves to become the new star of another franchise? While the blockbuster trade between Luka Doncic and Anthony Davis continues to dominate NBA headlines, new details are emerging about potential moves that almost completely changed Edwards' destiny. And now, there are even more surprising rumors. Could Edwards, in the future, become part of the Detroit Lions? The young player's name has been involved in various speculations, and his athletic versatility raises questions about the paths he could take. Anthony Edwards is considered one of the most promising talents in the NBA. Since entering the league, he has demonstrated exceptional skills that make him a central piece for the Minnesota Timberwolves. His speed, physical explosiveness, and shooting accuracy have made him indispensable to the team, which sees him as a key player in building a winning future. At 23 years old, he has already accumulated 3 All-Star selections and is regarded as a future superstar of the league. His competitive mindset and commitment to the franchise reinforce the belief that he can become the face of the team for many years. But what if an unexpected twist occurred? Before the trade between the Mavericks and Lakers was finalized, Dallas reached out to other franchises to discuss potential trade scenarios. It was in this context that the possibility of a deal involving Edwards and Luka Doncic arose. Mavericks GM Nico Harrison contacted the Timberwolves to gauge their interest in giving up their young star in exchange for the Slovenian. The response was categorical. Minnesota did not even consider the trade, believing Edwards to be a fundamental player for their long-term project. The fact that the Mavericks even considered trading Doncic was in itself a huge surprise. Doncic is widely recognized as one of the best players in the NBA, having led Dallas to the Western Conference Finals and established himself as one of the league's greatest talents. However, the Texas front office was evaluating the possibility of reshaping its roster and seeking a new identity for the team. This raised questions among fans, who were perplexed by the mere suggestion of trading their main player. Even after Doncic was sent to the Lakers, dissatisfaction persisted. The return package was not convincing, and Anthony Davis's early injury further aggravated the feeling that Dallas may have lost in this trade. The Timberwolves' loyalty to Edwards was a crucial point in this story. Unlike other franchises that might consider bold moves, Minnesota demonstrated full confidence in their young star. The team believes he could become an MVP candidate in the future and lead the franchise to historic achievements. His impact on the team goes beyond numbers. His energy and leadership on the court are fundamental elements for the team's culture. Edwards embodies the new generation of the NBA dynamic, versatile players capable of dominating multiple aspects of the game. However, while the NBA continues to follow Edwards' development, a curious rumor has started to gain traction. Could he explore a career in American football? Reports suggest that the Detroit Lions, one of the most promising teams in the NFL, might be interested in testing the young athlete's skills in a new sporting environment. Edwards, who has already demonstrated impressive physical abilities, could adapt well to the game, especially as a wide receiver, where his speed and agility would be highly valued. Despite the shifting rumors, Edwards' loyalty to Minnesota continues to resonate within the organization. The Timberwolves have consistently demonstrated a commitment to developing him into a franchise cornerstone. His ability to adapt to different roles on the court makes him a versatile asset, capable of elevating the team in various situations. Minnesota is not only relying on his on-court performance, but also on his potential to become a leader who can set the tone for the franchise's future success. As long as he remains with the Timberwolves, they have the opportunity to build a sustainable winning culture around his leadership. This possibility might seem unlikely, but there are precedents in sports history. Athletes like Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders achieved success in multiple sports, proving that transitioning between high-level sports is not impossible. Edwards has the physique, mentality, and athletic capability to consider this alternative. The question is, would he be interested in exploring this path? For now, his focus seems entirely on the NBA and his growth as a player. However, the mere existence of this rumor shows how special and versatile he is as an athlete. The Timberwolves have, in Edwards, a player who could shape the future of the franchise. His growth since arriving in the NBA has been impressive, and his evolution in maturity, decision-making, and impact on games only reinforces how much further he can go. Minnesota has already begun structuring the roster around him, bringing in players who can complement his style of play and allow him to take on an increasingly evident leadership role. Comparisons between Edwards and some of the league's best players are already being made, and for good reason. His potential is limitless, and the trajectory of his career suggests that he could soon be considered one of the faces of the NBA. If he maintains his development and continues to improve year after year, there's a strong possibility that he will be a top contender for MVP honors. His combination of skill, athleticism, and mentality make him a rare talent, one who could dominate the league for years to come. If the Dallas Mavericks had actually acquired Edwards in a trade, the NBA's dynamics could have changed significantly. With his youth and talent, Dallas could have built a team around a younger player with long-term potential and a different energy. However, the Timberwolves front office knew that losing Edwards would mean losing a bright future, and the refusal was immediate. The Dallas Mavericks' attempt to acquire Edwards underscores just how highly regarded he is within the league. The fact that he was even part of the trade discussions involving a player like Luka Doncic speaks volumes about his value as an asset. While the Mavericks might have seen Edwards as the foundation for their future, Minnesota was never going to part with him without a compelling reason. His ability to impact the game in so many different ways makes him indispensable to the Timberwolves' vision. Now, the big question is, how far can Edwards take the Timberwolves? With his athletic ability and technical skills, he has the potential to become the face of the NBA in the coming years. Comparisons are already being made with great league players, and sports analysts believe he has all the tools to become one of the best players of the next decade. If Edwards does decide to stay with the Timberwolves, it could mark the beginning of an exciting new chapter for the franchise. With the right supporting cast, Minnesota has the chance to become a true contender in the Western Conference. The team has already taken steps to ensure that Edwards has the help he needs to thrive. Adding complementary pieces who can support his playing style, if all goes to plan, the Timberwolves could soon be competing at the highest level. With Edwards leading the charge, the Minnesota franchise also demonstrates solid commitment to his development. The team has been working to add pieces that maximize his potential, bringing in players who can complement his skills and allow him to assume an even more dominant role. The Mavericks, on the other hand, must deal with the consequences of their decision to trade Luka Doncic. With Anthony Davis struggling with physical issues, the Texas team may find it difficult to justify this move. Many analysts question whether Dallas made the right choice in letting go of Doncic, while Edwards would have been an excellent replacement. The reality is that Minnesota never seriously considered this possibility, leaving the Mavericks with limited options. Meanwhile, the Lakers benefit from Doncic's arrival, hoping he can lead the team to another championship. The partnership with LeBron James and other veterans could transform Los Angeles into a true title contender. Had this trade occurred, the NBA would have witnessed a completely different scenario. Dallas could have started a new era with Edwards as its central piece, while the Timberwolves would have had to rethink their plans without their young star. The NBA is constantly evolving, and moves like these show how the balance of power can shift quickly. Edwards remains one of the most sought-after players in the league, but his loyalty to the Timberwolves remains firm. If he stays with the Timberwolves long-term, the team has the chance to become a powerhouse in the Western Conference. With the talent Edwards possesses, Minnesota could become an attractive destination for other elite players wanting to compete for a championship. The rumors about his possible move to the NFL may just be speculation, but they demonstrate how his talent is recognized beyond basketball. His athletic ability would make him a viable candidate for a physically demanding sport like American football. However, changing sports is not a simple decision. The transition requires adaptation, learning, and a level of commitment similar to what he has already demonstrated in basketball. Even athletes like Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders faced challenges in balancing careers across different sports. Given this, it seems more likely that Edwards will continue to focus on the NBA, at least for now. His immediate goal should be to take the Timberwolves to new heights, solidifying his position as one of the best players in the league. If he manages to lead the team to the finals and compete for a title in the coming years, his reputation will only grow. He has the talent and mindset necessary to become one of the NBA's faces in the future, something that Minnesota clearly recognizes and values. The Mavericks, on the other hand, must deal with the consequences of their decision to trade Luka Doncic. With Anthony Davis struggling with physical issues, the Texas team may find it difficult to justify this move. Many analysts question whether Dallas made the right choice in letting go of Doncic. While Edwards would have been an excellent replacement, the reality is that Minnesota never seriously considered this possibility, leaving the Mavericks with limited options. Meanwhile, the Lakers benefit from Doncic's arrival, hoping he can lead the team to another championship. The partnership with LeBron James and other veterans could transform Los Angeles into a true title contender. The NBA is constantly evolving, and moves like these show how the balance of power can shift quickly. Edwards remains one of the most sought-after players in the league, but his loyalty to the Timberwolves remains firm.